I'm gonna be honest, it's just so easy now. Like it's so simple. It's never been easier. There's not really any barrier to investing. It's just the only hard part is this, you know, it's putting your hard-earned money now and just putting it in for an unforeseeable future. That's the hard part. But the actual like technical stuff, it's super easy. One thing is be grateful for your progress. Take every win, learn from your losses, and that's it. Don't beat yourself up. This is like a cycle. It's worse and worse. I don't see it as a smart move. I don't see it as a smart move. I'd say wait a year. Maybe just be 2 semesters, but I'd say a year. And one, get a part-time job, right? Have income. So from a personal finance perspective, make income, budget your money, invest, like learn about personal finance, all that, just how to manage your money. Because there's too many people, the number one regret I see is that they wish they would have started earlier. They wish they would have taken this seriously earlier. So one, money perspective. 2, try a ton of things. Like, I don't know, go to a Zumba class, go to kayak, go travel to the country, make some friends, take action, go out of your comfort zone. Try different things, because if you don't try different things, you're not gonna find, who knows, maybe you try, like for example, the Zumba class, and you love Zumba. That's like, you love that, but you wouldn't know if you didn't try.
Welcome to the Consistency Theory Podcast, a podcast about how taking one step out of the place you feel most comfortable can catapult you to places you did not even know you could get to. We are all living in an information abundant era, so it can be hard to know what to pursue for the better. High school, travelling, uni, apprenticeships, working offer so many different opportunities. How can you possibly know exactly what is for you? We discuss ideas with those who have first-hand experience of doing just that, so you can get first-hand perspective of how you can implement their secrets to your own life. Welcome back to the Consistency Theory Podcast. Today we are joined by an amazing guy by the name of Sean. Sean is a 19-year-old financial educator and is wise beyond his years. Sean aims to provide financial education to anyone and everyone, while also learning himself along the way. I came across Sean's page at Financial Phoenix on Instagram and was instantly grabbed by the straight to the point advice and invaluable points he raises. In this episode we talk about how our generation, including myself, were not taught key things in high school and that we now have to learn. His advice to people of any age on how to thrive in the future, mental health, investing, how to avoid debt, and why taking a gap year will do wonders, and so much more. There is a lot of gold in this episode, and I hope you can stick around until the end where Sean shares his most important piece of advice. Before we start, I'm launching a newsletter with summaries of the advice of each episode. Sign up via the first link in the show notes, and don't forget to let me know what you think via Apple Podcasts. It helps more than you can imagine. Cool. Okay, so we're here with Sean now. Would you be able to just give us like a quick overview of what you do?
So, I'm mainly a college student. I'm in college in about 4 weeks and 4 days to be exact.
Nice.
And I'm a content creator on personal finance on Instagram and some other platforms. So that's basically the 2 main things I do.
That's awesome. So you say you were a personal finance kind of educator. What kind of stuff have you learned from doing that on Instagram?
Like overall in like personal finance?
Yeah, well, just overall kind of educating people on the platform.
What I've learned?
Yes.
Well, one, I've learned how Instagram works, right? Like the whole Instagram game, content creation, video editing, graphic design, copywriting, started doing a little bit of email marketing. And also, since I've been doing this for 5 months, I'm constantly, obviously, I need to be on the app engaging with the creators. So I'm constantly consuming new information. So also a ton of personal finance content I've learned and just consumed like crazy.
Awesome. So part of personal finance is obviously looking after your finances, and I assume it also involves investing as well.
Yes.
So what personally does investing mean to you, and why did you personally start?
So what investing means to me is putting your money to work right now. That way you don't really have putting your money to work right now. That way in the future you can become work optional.
Mm-hmm.
Because basically the power of compound interest, your money goes linearly. So it's going to grow at a much faster rate than you can make it.
Mm-hmm.
So basically money's working harder than you are 24/7. So it's kind of every dollar you invest today is maybe a day of freedom, like 10 years down the line. So I kind of think about it like that. And I just started investing because, I don't know, once COVID hit, I was a senior in high school, COVID hit. I didn't know what to do. I just started YouTubing, started looking at some YouTube videos, started reading some books. And I realized, school didn't teach me any of that whatsoever. Like none of that whatsoever. Like not even it wasn't even like, at least they could have made us aware to it, you know? Maybe high school students wouldn't take it seriously, but at least you get that awareness to what it is. But not even that.
It's really crazy how, because we're kind of roughly the same age, and how it kind of transcends borders as well, because I feel exactly the same learning in the UK as well. Our school didn't teach us much about personal finance or, for example, mortgages or anything like that. And I feel that that's pretty important things to know about, well, in life as well. And I'm shocked how that's just kind of transcended borders as well. But anyway, kind of back to your investing kind of thing. What habits did you personally have to develop to kind of keep yourself on track investing and managing your money?
Well, number one, I guess you can say the foundation of personal finance, like the foundation of everything, is obviously it's habits. It's mostly behavior. It's mostly all psychological for the most part. Like you can have the spreadsheets, the numbers, you can have the plan, but if you don't have your mindset right, if you don't destroy your living beliefs right, it's all gonna be for nothing. So really, it's reviewing your finances at minimum on a weekly basis. That means at minimum tracking your spending, seeing where your money goes. That's like the bare minimum.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know where your money is going. How are you gonna know if you have money to invest? How are you know you're gonna have money to go out? And you want to take a step above that, budgeting. And people think budgeting is restrictive, but really it's just telling your money where to go. It's a lot. It's not a plan to say no. It's a plan that allows you to say yes, right? Because oh, I actually can go out, right? I budgeted this. I can go out and enjoy myself. I can do this. Just knowing where your money is going. And once you have that, once you have that system, then investing is just easy. It's just automating transfers, picking a fund, and staying patient.
Sure. Yes, there's a lot of patience involved in there. But what kind? Because obviously, when you start investing, did you have some kind of goals in mind that you wanted to hit at a certain point, or were you just kind of, I'm going to put some stuff in here, do some stuff, and just see what happens with it, and then you build your goals from there? Or did you have like a solid set of goals you wanted to hit?
In the beginning, I didn't have any idea what I was doing. I just put it in, pick some random stocks.
Yeah.
I feel like obviously goals are very important, but you develop them over time through taking action and learning, because you don't know what goals to set until, if you don't know anything about investing in personal finance, how are you going to be able to set great goals? You're not. So those goals kind of develop along the way. So my goal for this year, I'm having a lot of expenses for college. So just get my first 5K invested, and then next year, like first 50K. Ideally, before I leave college, I have anywhere from 100 to 250K invested. That's, I guess you could say,
awesome.
Goals wise when investing.
Now, how do you personally set your goals? I know you said about you kind of build it along the way, but say you want to set a fresh new set of goals, how would you kind of go about that?
Well, ideally, you want to start from a macro perspective and work to a micro perspective. So, like ideally, even like a 10-year plan, then like a 5-year plan, and break it down into every year, and break it down per month and into quarters. But let's say you don't have goals right now. You still have about 6 months left. Still about 4 weeks of July. Actually, no, it's like 2 weeks of July. But you have about 5 to 6 months left to really make an end of year goal, right? That you can accomplish by the end of this year, right? That big short-term goal, and break it down month by month and week by week.
Yeah.
Just working from the top down.
For sure. So that's personally something I've been struggling with, goal setting, and just kind of, it's very daunting having one big goal, just kind of stare at it all the time. It's about, I assume, breaking down into kind of manageable chunks, like you said, kind of weeks or months and stuff. And it's just kind of, that's something I'm trying to get my head around as well. I'm sure many other people are, but as long as you break it down, which I found, it does help a lot. So kind of moving on a little bit more, what kind of investments like really excite you, and what investments would you kind of like stay away from personally?
Investments that excite me are really investments in myself and my business, but from like a stock market perspective, not even just a stock market, just tangible assets in general. Rental real estate, that's amazing. everyone's gonna need a place to live forever. That's a basic human necessity that's not gonna go away.
Mm-hmm.
It's never gonna go away. Plus, you have way more tax benefit. It requires more work. It's high barriers to entry, but there's way more tax benefits. You have cash flow. You get to provide someone a place to live. On the stock market, I literally just an index fund. It's plain and simple. People call it boring, but in my opinion, investing shouldn't be fun. Investing should be simple, clear cut, and what your fun should be outside in the world, meeting new people, enjoying the fruits of your labor. That should be the fun part, not sitting at your computer screen trading for 12 hours a day.
I agree.
My opinion.
Yeah. So I have to ask, what are your thoughts on crypto?
Crypto. Well, think about it. It was invented. Well, Bitcoin. So the first crypto was invented in 2008, 2009. So about like 10-ish years ago. So extremely new. So we're like in the baby stages, kind of like the early adopter stages. Yeah. Kind of imagine the internet, for example, like the first 10 years of its inception, people were kind of skeptical about it. It's unsure. There's still like a massive crash. A lot of companies failed. So same thing. It could definitely play a big role in our future, especially like decentralized finance. But which crypto is going to hold out? How do you pick the right one? How is it going to interweave in our economy? That's the thing.
It's a proper lottery of those, as well as I'm sure everyone online, TikTok and whatever, has seen all these schemes and stuff, courses and whatever. How can you personally figure out if someone's just after your money, just after the money or from these courses?
Yeah, it's a great question, because the modern day con man has a smile on his face.
They're getting smarter,
friendly, seems trustworthy. So that's the thing. It's hard. It's extremely hard. I'd say don't give in to impulse. Like if you just find someone and they say, maybe they have a course, the course can still be good. Just give it a minute. Take a month or two, look at their content, kind of maybe notice any red flags, see what other people are saying about them too. That's important. If you see the comments saying, "Oh, he's a scammer," this, that, maybe you should take a second look at that. But just don't get into impulse if you just find a creator.
For sure.
Also,
go on, mate.
One more point. Yeah, if you're selling anything that's like get rich quick, make money now, anything with high returns, anything like that. Because real wealth building takes time, takes patience, takes hard work. So anything that seems too easy, too quick, you learn a skill like that, big red flag.
For sure. It's again, so they're getting a lot smarter, and they're just very impressionable people, say very young people, will see all this stuff kind of blazoned online on YouTube and stuff, and they'll think, "Oh, this is amazing. I'll dip into this," and they do get burnt very quick. People can get burnt very quick, and it's really unfortunate. But yeah, as you said, wealth building takes time. You just have to be majorly patient as well. So talking about younger people, how old are you at the minute?
I'm 19.
Sorry?
I'm 19.
19, cool. So say someone else who's just turned 18, they have a part-time job, they haven't started investing yet, they have absolutely no knowledge of personal finance. What are some key things and key steps that you would tell them to consider when they first starting?
This is my favorite scenario. It's kind of like a clean slate. It's a clean slate, but it's a clean slate where you can build something great or not, go in the other direction. So key thing, well, obviously first generating income, part-time job, that's perfect. First thing, learn how to manage your money, right? And track your expenses. I personally creating a spreadsheet. Eventually I have it on my Instagram. But I think just something like mint.com, it just automates. It kind of pulls all your bank transfers, have it in one place. Just knowing where your money is going, right? You don't have to budget for right now, just knowing where your money is going, and start building an emergency fund. It's like a little safety net, kind of, it's what's between you and life, basically. It's that safety net just in case your car breaks down, you have to go to the hospital, it's for emergencies. So building that up, you shouldn't have any debt at that point, so you don't really have to pay down debt. But once you're tracking your expenses, you're analyzing it, you're analyzing your behaviors, not giving into impulse buying. You have that emergency fund, then you can start investing. Honestly, an index fund is probably the best way to go. Very passive. Again, not get rich quick. It's something. Me personally, I don't even want to sell my index funds. I just want to keep contributing. I never want to become work optional. I just live off the dividends. Probably never sell it, to be honest. It's not something for now. It's something long term. The thing is, it's you also have to train yourself as a very young person. You need to have that long term perspective. It's really hard when you think about it. Getting your hard earned money now and just putting it away for the unforeseeable future. That's a very hard thing to do. So with everything in life, it's all delayed gratification and long term perspective. It's sacrificing today doesn't mean you can't enjoy your life. Obviously, it's all about balance, but you need to sacrifice some things in order to have a better future for tomorrow, and just find that balance there. So track your expenses, emergency funds, start investing. Really just educate yourself every single day, like your blog, YouTube, at least non-negotiable every single day, at least 10 minutes.
Sure, I feel like the kind of self-development, investing in yourself is also a massive part of that. And as well, if you're quite young and say you don't have a job, you don't have an income coming in, one of the big things you can still do investment wise is invest in yourself. And you said before, books and podcasts and everything like that. And it's I personally found it really hard as well. The finding instant gratification and everything, and just kind of trying to dial that back as well to turn it into long-term gratification is quite hard for people who are quite young who may have a load of money coming in. They want to buy some shoes, want to buy a car and stuff. It's just kind of dialing that back and then moving on to the longer term things. So we talked all about investing in what they could do. What do you personally wish was easier to do investing wise in modern day?
I'm gonna be honest, it's just so easy now. Like it's so simple. There's no fee brokerages. You just link your bank account. You can set up automatic transfers, and you pick a low cost index fund where all you need to do is like rebalance your portfolio once a year. Like it's never been easy. There's not really any barrier to invest. It's just the only hard part is this. It's putting your hard earned money now and not like money you're in now. You worked so hard for it and just putting it in for an unforeseeable future. That's the hard part. But the actual like technical stuff, it's super easy.
Yeah, for sure. It's the kind of with my investing, I just kind of say I'm taking this much out and I just try and forget about it. Just put it into that account and just go.
That's the perfect perspective. Kind of, let's say you have a paycheck of £1,000. I know you guys use pounds. And you invest 200 a month, right? So you have 1,200. Basically, your paycheck is now 800. Don't even think your paycheck being 1,000, it's 800. That 200 is not even part of your paycheck.
Sure, it's a massive mental game, isn't it? So as well, as you're in America, were you did you say you're going to community college? Does that incur kind of debt to you as well as normal university would?
So yeah, I'm in Miami right now. So I'm like Florida, like the peninsula. So I'm moving 8 hours to Tallahassee. I'm going to community college. Tuition's fairly cheap for community college, and I applied to federal aid, something called FAFSA. So I saw it should pay for at least like the first year and then the first 2 years. It's just really moving out. So I have expenses like paying rent, groceries now. Rent's fairly cheap though. So yeah, rent, groceries. So I'm not going to take on any debt for at least the first 2 years. I just have higher expenses now. Yeah,
that's good. So for people who may be in debt in any capacity, like kind of no matter what level, what kind of core actions would you kind of recommend them to kind of give themselves a leg up to kind of step out of debt?
Well, first thing, you can have the plan. You can pay off debt. There's people who pay off debt and then get back into debt. So before you even do that, you have to analyze why you got into debt in the first place. You need to be honest with yourself. You need to hold yourself accountable. That goes back to tracking your spending, right? Tracking budgeting. It's all a mental game. Like, why did you go in debt? Was it impulse spending? Was it maybe mental health issues? Was it this? Was it that? You have to be honest with yourself and clear about that, because if not, you'll get back into debt in the first place. Now, once you have that clear, really, it's just budgeting. Budgeting will allow you to kind of allocate more money towards paying off debt, because the more money you allocate towards debt, the faster you're paid down. You'll probably really save years and thousands of dollars in interest. So the more once you have that mental part sorted out, you're budgeting, then really just pay down as much as possible.
Awesome. So as well, we're talking about short-term gratification and long-term gratification. If you had something right now that you could do without any financial risk, whatever, what would you do?
Like an investment or just in general?
Say you got about $1,000, you can't put it into an investment. You have to kind of spend it all in a week or a month or so. What would you go and do?
Maybe on myself?
To an extent, yeah.
Because my first instinct is getting getting like a laptop for like 200, because this one's extremely slow.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna get it regardless, because for college, like having that plus the battery dies very fast.
Yeah.
So kind of that will just save me time to stress. Gotten stressed sometimes just waiting for this shit to load. So that. Damn. So all I'm thinking is investing to myself. I'm thinking like a better camera. I'm thinking like outsourcing some work. Maybe hire like 1 or 2 consulting calls with some social media experts. That's really what I'm thinking about for 15,000.
Oh, wicked. So would you say all the stuff you're doing now, and what I kind of want to know, what stuff away from all your investing and your Instagram and stuff, what kind of stuff makes you happy?
I really just helping others and empowering others, because I mean we're social animals, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They say you have to be. I mean, people say like, especially in the self-development community, to be a lone wolf. Like the lone wolf dies alone. You know, building a tribe around you, helping others.
Mm.
They're just doing that, and also I mean, doing things I love. Anything like adrenaline, you know, bridge jumping, we go skydiving.
Oh, really nice.
I haven't done those yet, but I just traveling too.
Yeah.
Imagine doing that. Imagine this is the ideal. This is what I am going to accomplish. I'm going to set myself up in college so I can do this in my 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Slow travel the world. So pick a country, 3 to 6 months, right? Learn the language, learn some foods to cook, make some friends there, maybe fall in love. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
And then, well, obviously, I have the Instagram, my social media page, so I'm making money online, right? I'm investing in that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also just adventuring, you know, going on different excursions. I'm scuba diving, and doing a ton of things. That's
sure.
Cool. Your life.
That's the dream, isn't it? If you could go anywhere in the world right now, where would you want to go?
Say the UK, to be honest.
Yeah. Nice. Well, it would be a perfect time to come down now. The weather's actually quite nice for once, and as well, it's our I don't know what it's like over in America, but this is our Freedom Day from COVID in the UK. So
what do you mean?
So our Freedom Day, we've had like 3 lockdowns since COVID started. And the government have kind of been pushing to, instead of having lockdowns and stuff, to kind of move to living with COVID as we would the flu. So it's a very kind of bold approach. Now, yes, since today, everyone had to wear a mask in indoor settings and public transport. You can only have a certain amount of people around your house, meet a certain amount of people socially. But from today, all of those things have stopped. So it's no longer a legal requirement to have to wear masks everywhere, which a lot of people are kind of on the fence about. And yeah, it's almost like nightclubs might potentially be able to open very soon as well. Music events and everything like that from today. It's really weird. It's really weird, to be honest, because we've had a year and a bit of just constant lockdowns and stuff. Is that what it's like in America right now, or are you kind of coming out of it?
No, everything's open, to be honest.
Really?
It just at least it depends on the state. It really just depends on the state, but for the most part, everything's been open. It's really the beginning, the first couple months where it was like a lot stricter, but like month after month, it got a little more, you know, got less strict.
Mm-hmm.
But at least in Miami right now, there's no restrictions. But I don't know. Our vaccination rate, I think it's like 70%.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, I saw in Australia's somewhere I'd love to go, to be honest. But in Australia, they've had kind of loads of local lockdowns and stuff because they they did so well to start with, and now they've moved to now, and everyone's kind of like, we've done so well to start with, we don't really need the vaccine or anything. That's kind of caused everyone to kind of lock down over there. Yeah, no, it's really weird over here now. Everyone's just kind of out and just doing stuff they wouldn't normally do. Okie dokie. So, what personally is a lesson that you wish that you learned earlier, just in general?
So don't beat yourself up because you set these goals, right? You tell things, maybe you tell yourself things you're gonna do, right? Then you don't do them, and then you beat yourself up for not doing them. And that every time that happens, you kind of lose trust and respect for yourself, and that just leads to your mental health getting basically worse and worse. So one thing is be grateful for your progress. Take every win, learn from your losses, and that's it. But don't beat yourself up. It's just it's like a cycle. It's worse and worse.
Yes.
Be grateful for your progress, and as long as you're making consistent, like small steps every day, you're on the right track.
For sure, mate. I think that's something that needs to be preached more for a lot of people, me included, to be fair. But yeah, that's class. Habits as well. What kind of habits are you kind of consciously building right now, or something that you feel you need to work on?
Well, gratitude journaling first thing in the morning. At minimum 3 points and why. That's key. It just bleeds into your life. It makes more out of less. It makes more out of negative situations. Makes you more appreciative of small things, which honestly has impacted my quality of life significantly. For example, I remember coming home from a workout, like a hard leg day. I kind of ran out of water, so I'm dehydrated. I'm biking home, get some water, like when I feel it's dry. And I finally make it to my house, and I just this fat ass smile on my face, and I'm so grateful for that, just for that water. And that happened because gratitude is a skill you train, kind of bleeds into my life. That meditation, because you practice your mindfulness, staying in the moment, which I can list probably 100 benefits about that and how it impacts everything, but don't want to go on a rant. It's just, I'm going to leave this here. A Harvard study said that basically about half of our life, we're not in the moment. We're not in the present moment. That's insane. Half of our life. In worrying about the future, thinking about the past, but we're not actually enjoying the now.
I was going to ask you to kind of expand on what you mean by in the moment.
All right. So, for example, this conversation right now. So me in the moment would be actively listening to you and not having any other thoughts in my head, not saying, oh, I have to post, I have to do reads, this, that. No, I'm actively enjoying the conversation, which just leads to a better quality conversation, right? It's you being more engaged, more satisfaction. So me not being mindful of the conversation, not being mindful of moments, be just constantly thinking about something else, not being in the conversation. That's just one aspect. It's really just being present in the moment. Like you're not thinking about anything else, just kind of absorbing everything, right? The sounds, the sights, the feelings. That just leads to and you enjoying everything else, you becoming a better listener, a better conversationalist, better at working out because you can feel emotion more, better at writing, more productive, better relationships, to name a few.
Sure. How have you personally kind of cultivated that feeling? Has there been things you've been doing daily to kind of make sure you're mindful?
It's meditation. I use the Headspace app. Start with 5 minutes. Now I do like 20 minutes a day. And again, you don't necessarily, it's a skill. Mindfulness is a skill. And meditation is the act that trains that skill. So you don't necessarily get better at the act of meditation. Some days your mind's running 1,000 miles per hour. Some days you're a monk. You don't necessarily get better. But it's kind of like a rep, right? It's a mindfulness cycle. You're focusing on your breath, right? So you're mindful of your breath. Then a thought pops up, and naturally you don't notice that thought. You kind of try to like think of that thought, and leads to another one, right? Like your mind wanders, and it's just noticing that and coming back to the breath. That's one rep. For example, how does this apply in everyday life? Let's say I'm working, whatever. I come across a problem, and I get frustrated. I'm like, oh wait. That's me for getting frustrated is like that thought coming. So
I
work, here's the
see.
work,
Yeah, yeah.
here's the frustration. Oh wait, no, come back to the work, continue going. Like it's helped me with frustration, emotions, productivity, everything. So it kind of, you don't get better at the act of meditating, but that mindfulness skill kind of increases.
Mm.
And it's just, it's crazy how important it is.
That's
Crazy.
that's awesome. That's really interesting. That kind of makes me. I've tried the Headspace app. Is it something that you personally pay for, or is that still a free thing?
So yeah, no, I bought the yearly membership, 100% worth, 100% worth it, probably for like $70. But I know on
Mm-hmm.
Yes Theory, they have a video, like one of the Yes Theory people, I think, I forgot his name was Thomas, but he basically said he meditated for 1,000 days. And in his link in bio there's 2 months free with Headspace.
Oh, nice.
But if not, you can also try Medito, that's free. But in my opinion, not as good as Headspace. Or just like a YouTube video. In my opinion, Headspace is 10 out of 10. I mean, the guy who co-founded it was a Buddhist monk for 10 years, a British guy, probably like around our age.
I think I know. Can you remember what's his name?
Andy.
And yes.
So his friend got into a car accident. The dad ran in front of a drunk driver, just hit him outside, like, I don't know, the bar or restaurant. And I think it was like his stepsister or sister-in-law that also died in that same like couple months time frame. So imagine that's kind of very, very hard hitting. So he dipped. Traumatic. He went to, I forgot which country, and he became a Buddhist monk for like 10 years. Wow. And then he came back, founded Headspace. So if I want to have a meditation app, it's going to be something that's 100%. Created by that guy, which is then Headspace. That guy has been through it, you know?
Yeah. I'm sold, mate. I'm gonna have a look at this after the app. I'll try get back into it. Because I have been wanting to try meditation. It's just, again, it's just kind of building on that habit for me. I have tried it. I haven't gone past the kind of free stage of it. I personally used it when I was going to bed. Is that something you do as well, or do you do it earlier, mid, night? What kind of what's your kind of habit with that?
So I used to do 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes before bed, but now I just do 20 minutes in the morning. So after my regular journal, after like I wash my face and all that, then I just set the Headspace app for 20 minutes, and that's that. But I'd say to stay consistent with it, it's watch videos about the benefits, because the more you learn about the benefits, the more addicted you get to it, and the more you see how important it is. The reason I do it every day, I've been doing it every single day for probably almost 6 months, because when I started, I researched and I saw all the benefits of it, and it amazed me. So I just kept going, you know. But eventually, it's not just you doing it for the benefits; it's you doing it because you want to do it, and the actual act. But really, just researching like what are the benefits of meditation. People meditated for a couple of years, and it just gets you excited, makes you want to do it every day.
I suppose it's just giving it a go.
I want to add one more point. When you start seeing that bleed into your life, like slowly but surely, you're gonna be like, "What?" Nah, that's when it gets good.
Whoa!
That's when you want to start meditating like 2 hours a day.
Yeah, 100%. One thing that I was going to ask you about, because you said you were into Yes Theory. I don't know how much you're into Yes Theory, but have you seen the videos with Wim Hof, the Iceman?
Yes.
That's kind of bled through into my life. You know, the cold. Are you into cold showers at all? Have you tried them?
I've taken them a couple of times. Yeah.
That is something maybe akin to meditation as well. That's something that I would say for you to try more of as well. Like personally, whenever I have a shower, I'll just have a normal shower, and at the end of it, I'll just blast myself with cold water for a bit, and it's awesome. It's like having a coffee, just without having to have the coffee and the come down from caffeine. It's awesome. I wouldn't go to the extent of putting myself in an ice bath for however long they did it for, but something little like that is I found really beneficial for me as well.
So I've tried it once when COVID hit. When COVID hit, like I had my daily schedule. I was trying to kind of have it. So one was cold showers, and it was nice. Literally, you don't need coffee. Like I don't drink coffee personally. You have decent sleep, a good diet, you get some sunlight, and you want a little extra, some cold showers, and your day's planned out. Like you don't need coffee, in my opinion. I feel like you don't need coffee. Like caffeine, then you build a tolerance to that. It also stains your teeth. It's, in my opinion, you don't need it. Yeah, it tastes good, but I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. You shouldn't be reliant on coffee
Yeah.
at
So
all.
yeah,
To all the
coach
yeah.
hours that instantly wakes you up. Again, that's another mindfulness practice because you kind of forget about everything. You're just thinking about the cold, you're just thinking
Yeah,
about your body. That's mindfulness right there.
for sure.
It just shocks you into that.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, so at the start of us talking, we said about the differences in kind of American debt and kind of UK debt university wise. I want to talk about in high school. Um, what do you think we weren't taught a lot about that we need to know today? And do you think it's the same across borders and stuff, or is it kind of just yeah? What kind of things do you wish you were wish you were taught
Everything.
even?
Everything. Let's forget about one, personal finance, right? That relates to investing, budgeting,
100%.
right? Mental health, right? How do you actually like? How do you become happy? How do you have a good mental health? Like, actually detail. That's really important because what you perceive in your mind, like that's what life is. It's what you perceive up here. So if this isn't good, your life is not going to be good. Like no matter what happens, which obviously back to gratitude, mindfulness, those are like the two main practices for your mental health. I know if you have depression, I don't know that will cure your depression, but that will make you 10 times better. That's why it's also two key practices that I will never not do. I'll do it every single day till I die because it's training my mind, it's focusing, it's improving my mental health, and that good mental health leads to everything being good. Everything.
For sure.
So mental health, right? How to build a habit, right? How to have discipline. I wish I would have been taught that. Now I would have wasted months and months in the cycle of, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
Basically, how to even socialize because they put you in the environment to socialize. They don't actually tell you how to socialize. They don't tell you about
just expect you to go and do it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Some people they're never taught that, so they're kind of uncomfortable and shy. And I've had some classes where I didn't talk to anyone. Some classes where I talked to multiple people.
I agree.
Yeah, how to socialize, how to listen actively, negotiate, like good communication skills. And basically, the list goes on and on. Like the list goes on and on. I feel like it's the same across the board for most. I feel like the majority it's like this, and at least from like an investing perspective, because how the economy works, people need to spend money, right? Spend money that kind of helps the economy flow, that boosts the GDP. Now, if you're all very frugal and you're investing in this, that, you're probably going to be spending less. It's going to slow down the economy, I would think. So my theory is they don't teach this in school because that wouldn't really be beneficial to the economy. That's what
I agree. I do agree with that. Yeah.
It does sound maybe like a conspiracy theory, but it kind of just makes sense because it's illogical to not learn about this. It's illogical to not learn about this. So the only logical reason that it has been implemented in the past 200 years, since the country's inception, is that.
100%. That obviously the list can go on about things that we might not have been taught at school. It's shocking to me how it is exactly the same. All the stuff you've been talking about there is exactly the same. I personally thought in the UK as well. I mean, I'm probably about 3-4 years removed from the stage that you are at now when I left high school, and it's shocking to see that it hasn't changed or it hasn't kind of grown a bit as well. One thing that I personally, as soon as I left high school, I took a gap year as well, which personally that was so beneficial to me, and I hear loads of other people say the same. And it's just I went around and I traveled a few countries that I was curious about, and the stuff I learned over there, how to look after myself, how to talk to other people, how to communicate, that was like completely invaluable for me, rather than some kind of random lesson I was taught about in high school that I just don't use in the real world. And that is something I would implore more people to go out and do after high school, just kind of a gap year, or just kind of even taking the year just to kind of figure yourself out as well. It's just, I feel it's so important. Is that something you agree with as well?
It's funny because I actually recorded a YouTube video on why you should take a gap year.
Oh, really? Nice.
So you mentioned that, I was like,
here we go.
Yeah, I took a gap year too. It changed my life. I built habits. I found my passion, found my mission, tried a ton of new things, made mistakes, learned about myself. Didn't really travel too much, COVID and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to sneeze.
Yeah,
Never mind. I don't know.
I agree.
So it's because think about it. You're in school for let's say 12 years, right? 10, 12 years. In that same thing. Yeah, you have summer for 2 months, but you're not in summer. Sometimes you have summer reading. You're just eating shit. You're just going out.
Mm-hmm.
You don't actually have like a prolonged period of time without school for like the past 10, 12 years, right? Especially since you've been like a teenager and been like, obviously been more conscious of everything, self-aware. Yeah. So going straight from high school into college, I don't see it as a smart move. I don't see it as a smart move. I'd say wait a year, maybe just be 2 semesters, but I'd say a year.
Mm-hmm.
And one, get a part-time job, right? Have income. So from a personal finance perspective, make income, budget your money, invest, like learn about personal finance, all that, just how to manage your money. Because there's too many people. The number one regret I see is that they wish they would have started earlier. They wish they would have taken this seriously earlier. So one, money perspective. 2, try a ton of things. Like, I don't know, go to a Zumba class, go to kayaking, go travel to a new country, make some friends, like take action, go out of your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
Try different things, because if you don't try different things, you're not going to find, who knows, maybe you try, like for example, the Zumba class and you love Zumba. That's like, you love that, but you wouldn't know if you didn't try it.
100%.
So try a couple things, and yeah, I'd say that's it for the most part. Just keep taking action, and also obviously learn every day, whether it be books, YouTube, something every day.
100%. I like the point about that you've been in school for X amount of years, like a majority of your life, and going straight into university without tasting things that you wouldn't actually get in university. Like, for example, take the year off and again going traveling or trying a Zumba class. You can't a lot of the time get that in a university setting. It's very just kind of with the kind of education system, it's very just kind of do X to get Y. There's not a lot of room for tasting, I personally think. So I would implore people to 100% take a gap year, just kind of take time to work on yourself and just kind of see what you enjoy. If that's Zumba, then go for it. But 100%. So you're not at university yet, are you? How far away is it until you move over there?
I moved in. Yeah, there it was. So August 21st is the first day of classes. So that's the last week of August, and I move in date for my apartment. I'm moving with my 2 best friends I've known for 10 years.
Oh, that's good.
It's the 20th, so that's like the 3rd week. So really, 4 weeks and 4 days.
Wow.
Just, it doesn't feel real,
No, 100%. It feels very strange when you're moving away from your hometown or the town that you've lived in for quite a while to explore somewhere new. Do you are you feeling kind of nervous about it? What kind of feelings? What do you feel right now?
Well, I've been in Miami all my life. I've traveled like a couple times here and there, but the most I've been outside of it, like probably be 2 weeks in Argentina, like 2 times.
Wow.
But moving away to a whole different. It's still the same state, but it's still. I mean, it's a long ass state, so it's like 8 hours up. Still kind of far. Being independent, having to cook everything, plan my own meals, pay my own rents. It's a bit. Yeah, you could say it's a bit scary, but I don't know. I kind of find it exciting and scary. Because it's just, I see it as an opportunity to grow immensely, especially since I've taken that gap year. I have my habits, I have my direction in life, right? I know what I need to do, I have my plan. It's like I'm coming into college prepared instead of, imagine I would have gone straight from high school to college, would have been the same cycle. And now since I took a year off, I feel prepared for college, Of course, money perspective, it's next month, I have to honestly work my ass off. There's a lot of things I need to do with that. There's a lot of expenses. But though I am scared, like I know I'll be all right.
100%. It's. I'd be very concerned if you weren't scared about a couple of things. It's completely natural to have those feelings. Is there something that you aren't 100% sure of moving to college? Like how, like for example, I don't know how you're going to cope with the workload or something like that. Is there something like top of your mind that you're kind of like concerned about, not concerned, or just kind of worried about?
Well, obviously, it's gonna be a lot of work in college. You make an income, content
Hmm.
creation, but I just see that as a way to push myself and just kind of expand my limits. But really, just right now, because I don't have too much money right now, because I haven't been making too much money in the past couple of months. Just been focusing on learning social media, learning all that. So I've
Mm.
only been like working a little bit here and there, you know. So I don't have too much in savings. So like this month, I have to just grind.
Hmm.
And once I get there, I already calculated I have enough money and all that. But we do have a fourth roommate, and I don't know who it is yet. So I'm just hoping our roommate is cool. And then I guess just, you know, adjusting it, because I don't know how it's
Yeah,
living in another city. You know, I might be homesick,
yeah, for
might be
sure.
mom.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know what it's like in the US, but personally for me in the UK, I lived with 7 different housemates and I didn't know any of them before I joined. So I literally went by myself and just literally got plopped in this apartment and was like, oh, get on with all these people. And it was scary as fuck, honestly. But they all happened to be nice people. And I was really lucky for doing that. But and we all had our own kind of separate rooms and stuff. I was gonna ask you as well, like when I think about US colleges, I have a picture in my mind, kind of movies and stuff that you've got like two people like sleeping, living in the room together, like a roommate. Is that a kind of staple for colleges, or do you normally have your own room and stuff? How does it work over there?
It really depends. Usually, I feel like dorms, like on campus, they
Hmm.
probably do like that. But I'm living outside of campus. I'll go to TCC, but my place is gonna be right in front of FSU, which is the other big
Right.
college there. So it's gonna be a 4 bedroom, 2 bath. So we're just gonna have our separate room, but then just
Hmm.
2 bathrooms. But yeah, it is the same. It just depends on where we live.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. Um, so obviously at the end of uni, you get hopefully presented a piece of paper with your degree and whatever else comes with that. Aside from the degree, what other important lessons do you think that you can learn from university?
Um, Definitely, I like to see everything as like a little game. Everything is skills. So I'm definitely gonna improve my being more independent, right? Learning how to cook.
Hmm.
It is ins and out, like paying rent, this, that. Just being an adult overall.
Yep.
I feel like right now I'm a part-time adult, but once I get there, I'll be more like a full-time adult.
Mm.
Also, I'd say time management too, just having all that, becoming really more productive.
Hmm.
So some things here and there. But yeah, since I'll be pushing my limits, I'm definitely gonna learn a couple of things about myself. So yeah, I'd say some of that. Maybe finding some classes, like some electives, maybe finding some classes, the things I never tried or learned before,
Yeah, 100%.
and hopefully making some lifelong friends.
Awesome. Literally what it's all about. Um, so as well, saw a post quite a long time ago about you saying you turn 20 in a few months, and you asked people what pieces of advice would you give to their 20-year-old self. Um, and this is kind of like the penultimate or the ultimate question at the end that I ask everyone. What would you tell your younger self, or tell someone in your situation? What advice would you give to them on the whole?
Just know if you're watching this and you have a phone, the opportunities are endless. You know, you learn every day, you take action towards your goals, you can literally accomplish anything.
Hmm.
Becoming a millionaire isn't impossible. Traveling the world isn't impossible. You know, you can literally do everything you want. It's just you have to move. You know, you can't just stay watching Netflix all day. You have to take action towards something. You don't know what to take action in, bro. Anything. Go to the gym. I don't know. Go to Zumba class. Like get a part-time job. Just do, and through doing, like people say, some people obviously you get lucky, but you can only get lucky if you put in the work and the opportunity presents
100%.
itself. So opportunities won't present themselves to you. You won't get lucky if you don't put in the work. And if you're putting in the work, you learn about yourself. You learn a ton of new things. You meet new people, and it'll be an amazing experience. But you just have to get moving.
Get moving, 100%. Anyway, mate, I as always, appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming on. If we want to find you, where should we look?
So yeah, the Financial Phoenix on my Instagram, Sean Martin Leach on YouTube. Really, just my main platform is IG, the Financial Phoenix. Yeah, that's really it.
Awesome, man. Thank you very much.